from Clinton High School in Missouri. He is in his 17th season as a coach and first at head coach in Clinton, where he's revived a program that could not field a varsity team 4 years ago. They're now 6-2, including a major win over powerhouse Harrisonville High. Congratulations to Coach Vinsel. Hey, Week 8 comes to a close in just a few hours. The Commanders square off against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli back on ESPN2. They're going to be joined by special guests, Billy. We're also going to have Peyton here on NFL Live in a little bit, so tune in for that as we welcome in Lisa Salters, who is on the Chiefs sideline tonight. And Lisa, cannot wait to get out there with you on this game. There's been no connection in the NFL quite like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce over the last 8 seasons. They've got more completions, yards, touchdowns than any other duo. Do they ever take any time to reflect on their greatness real time?
Well, not really, Laura. Patrick Mahomes has said before that he and Travis Kelce don't really talk about the numbers that they've put up together, but over the last month, this Hall of Fame duo has been almost perfect. Since week 4, Mahomes has only missed his favorite tight end twice in 23 targets. That's a 91% completion rate over the last 4 games. Now, Mahomes told us it's because of all the reps that they've had together. They just see the game the same way after playing together for 8 seasons. Mahomes said, Travis sees the defense exactly how I do, and when I want to throw it to a spot, he's always in the right one. Now, Kelce's reaction to that 91% stat was a little different. When I told him that he and Patrick were 21 of their last 23, he said all he knew was that they weren't 100%, because he said all he remembers are the misses. So for all the success that they have, Travis Kelce said what drives him are those times when they do not connect. Kelce said that's when he's nonstop thinking over there on the sidelines, how could I have run the route better or done something different to make it a completion? Now, when I reminded him, 91%, it's still pretty good. He did agree, but he said that they've been doing this for so long together now that in his mind, 100% is the expectation.
Golly, I mean, excellent on the field, certainly. And Lisa, as we found out last night, excellent when it comes to making a steakhouse. 1587 Prime, we enjoyed our dinner there. They know a thing or two about all that.
Pretty good stuff. Where we're swagging in our seat.
I'm about to say, we ain't getting no invitation.
I saw Peter in there. Were y'all in town?
I wasn't invited to the table, but we'll get there. No, that's all right.
But what you was texting the group chat asking for somewhere to get a steak, weren't you?
They not on that group chat.
You didn't ask me.
Oh, that's the special group chat?
That's a special group chat because that I'm not on. So if you had texted me, I would have invited you, but I don't actually control the invites for that. Peter Schrager's joining us here, you guys. Peter with us for the rest of the show.
You went last night,
table for one.
You said by yourself.
I pulled that Joe Flacco deal. It was great. It was lovely.
That is not true, but it's funny. So we're not going to let facts get in the way of a good story. You guys, let's talk about the Dolphins, okay? The offense was in complete control. My goodness, look at that. They went down to Atlanta, beat the Falcons 34-10. Tua Tagovailoa had a season best 4 touchdown passes as the team snapped a 4-game losing streak. Here's Tua after the win.
I would say that was one of the better team wins that we've had in all 3 phases. Defense allowing us to get the ball back, defense stopping them on 3rd down, us being able to convert those 3rd downs. Outside of that, convert a couple 4th downs to keep us in the game and then allow us to be able to go down and score. This is sort of the swag I think we got to continue to flow over to the next week's game.
All right, so he had the glasses on because he had an eye issue before the game. And what worked so well for Miami, Peter?
Well, look, we could talk about Tua's passing, which was elite, but they're in the midst of a season where everyone's calling for the coach's head. They go on the road to Atlanta. They run the ball 37 times for 141 yards down the throats of a defense that absolutely silenced the Buffalo Bills 2 weeks ago. I thought the offense was great. It was balanced, and if they have any fight left for Mike McDaniel, they showed it. I don't know his long-term future in Miami, but that team played for him yesterday.
Yeah, good point. All right, the Jets picked up their first win of the season, beating the Bengals with a trick play touchdown pass from running back Breece Hall to Mason Taylor with less than 2 minutes to play. That was fun to see, honestly. Here's head coach Aaron Glenn on the win.
When it counted, you stepped your up and you made it. And we had to make a play. Offense, 500. Brand, 254 rushing yards. Man, I love this group.
All RC, what'd you take away from a wild week in New York?
That's a culture win, right? Obviously, you have a week where your owner comes out and basically says that you can't win with this quarterback, and you have to end up starting Justin Fields. He has an amazing day. Breece Hall, 2 rushing touchdown throws for another touchdown to clinch the game, but it was also going for 2 to put yourself in the game and give you an opportunity to win. Remember, the Detroit Lions didn't win their first game of the season until late November in Dan Campbell's first year, and they ended up only winning 3 games that year, but it built a culture. That's exactly what Aaron Glenn is attempting to do.
That's important perspective. Okay. Monday's win over the Patriots with an arm injury. Adam Schefter reporting earlier on our show and today that it is in fact a torn biceps. He's out indefinitely. Marcus, just how big a loss is this in Buffalo?
It's a huge loss, devastating loss. Anytime plays needed to be made from that interior, it was Ed Oliver. You think back to the early game in the season, the forced fumble on Derrick Henry, this sack in this game against Andy Dalton in Carolina, but it's also how important and vital these interior pass rushers are when you get to playoff time, when you have to get third down stops. And Ed Oliver was that focal point on the inside that made everybody's job easier. Force multipliers, dudes that you could put on the defensive line and everybody else game elevates. That's Ed Oliver for the Buffalo Bills. They still have some really good rushers. I get super concerned about the interior of this defensive line now, especially when it comes to those critical moments and downs in games.
Yeah, remember, they have these cheap.
Football is fabulous, isn't it? Until you have a slate like yesterday that is certainly not desirable. Now, there was obviously a close game. The rest of the slate was absolute shite. Now, that's good news if you're on the winning side. Terrible news if you're on the losing side. And tonight, don't look now, 11.5-point spread we're staring at. So, will this be the week of blowouts? We shall see. The toxic tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Congrats to you boys. Big wins yesterday.
Thank you. You too. You as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to one half of the hammer. Dad. Cowboys, AP 10. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry.
We have shite uniforms on Sunday Night Football. Brett Michaels didn't bring his A game. Not what we said. Some people that were there said they couldn't hear him as good throughout the entire stadium. So maybe that shifted the momentum at halftime to what it became. But the Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Green Bay Packers in the Aaron Rodgers Bowl, although Acrisure certainly had the environment of a massive game. The field looked much worse than it seemed to have played last night, but the game ends with the Green Bay Packers getting a huge win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, one half of the hammer. Dad. Cowboys, AP Tone. Tone, how's life right now? Everything okay over there after a primetime loss? Yep.
No, it's not all right. I wish I was in your guys' spot, celebrating blowout wins and happy. But no, it was just another primetime loss and a sleepless night, and now I'm starting the week on a bad foot, and it's just not good.
Okay, yeah, well, you're not the only one. I think there's a lot of people in Pittsburgh saying this is exactly who we've been for the past 10 years.
Yep.
It's exactly who we've been for the past 10 years. We were sold a brand new bill of goods here because Aaron Rodgers coming in here. And Aaron, obviously a Hall of Famer and incredible. He's doing his thing. But now if it's not the offense, what happened to the defense? It feels like for the last 8-9 years since Seven retired, there's never really been hope that you could win a Super Bowl with the team that's on the field. But you could certainly win games, which the Pittsburgh Steelers have done. Can you win the big one? Here's a big one in the middle of the season, and Tucker Kraft goes bananas for the Green Bay Packers, and Jordan Love obviously spins it. But the defense for Green Bay does enough. And for Pittsburgh's side, the defense seemingly the problem throughout the entirety of the season on display last night, or is it just, hey, you played a good Green Bay Packers team? It's a good team.
No, I wish it was just that. I believe that's 4 games now that they've let up 30 points this season, which hasn't happened since 2003, I believe, 2004, right before we got the honor of drafting 1-7 Ben Roethlisberger. So the defense is horrendous. They basically took the same game plan as the Bengals and said, hey, we're not going to give the D-line any chance to get to the quarterback. We're going to throw short stuff. And then the Steelers don't know how to tackle. 235 yards after catch, I believe, at one point of Jordan Love's 315 yards. So a bit of insanity there.
That was at one point. It ended with 244 yards after contact or catch in total versus Packers, most in any regular season game under Mike Tomlin. In its last 2 games, Joey Flacco and Jordan Love, Pittsburgh has allowed 702 passing yards with 6 touchdowns and only 2 sacks on 86 dropbacks. That's from Hembo. We appreciate the hell out of him. Let's go to 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler here. D-Butch obviously make a living in the secondary. Is that all tackling? Like, what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now?
Yeah, whenever you see all that yak, it's definitely bad tackling, bad coverage, and also Jordan Love just been hot. 20 straight completions on the way to throwing for 360 yards, and it wasn't a bunch of dinking